Cinema, 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 cinema. MTR சிவாஜி சாரு NTR ராஜ்குமார் இவங்க இருந்த சினிமா.
Hello friends, welcome to another week of Movie Monday. Today we are going to talk about passion again. Last week was a very important week. There were two important things that happened last week. One is after many years, after probably 2 decades I think, one American went on to enter the US semifinals, the US Open semifinals, the tennis tournament. His name was Frances Tiafoe. And the second thing that happened was Ponniyin Selvan, the grand cinema that is based on the novel from the 60s, Ponniyin Selvan. The audio launch of the same happened last week, and a lot of celebrities who are part of the movie, as well as a lot of people from the movie industry, participated in that. What has passion got to do with this? Interestingly, if you look at it, Frances Tiafoe, his father and mother, they came from a war-torn Sierra Leone. So when Sierra Leone was fighting a civil war, and a lot of people were getting displaced during that time. So his father, Francis Constant Sr., and his mother, Alfina, both of them fled the country and they moved into the US. I think his father came towards 1993 or so, while his mother came around 1996, 3 years later after his father came. So both the parents apparently met in the US, they got married, and they gave birth to Frances Tiafoe and his brother. Now, what is interesting about the family is his father actually worked in a junior tennis center in Maryland, and Tiafoe, for the most part of his childhood, spent his time in a small room where the entire family lived. There was one living room where the entire family of 4 people lived actually. And he actually played in the tennis courts. He was growing up in the tennis courts and things like that. So all the time it was tennis for him. His passion, his obsession, everything was tennis for him. And the family couldn't afford a college education. So his dad made it very clear, saying that if you want to make it to college, tennis could be the route towards that. So he said, I won't be in a position to sponsor you from a monetary standpoint, but if you're really good at tennis, there's a high chance that tennis will take you to college. So that actually registered in Tiafoe's mind, and he started looking at tennis as an opportunity for him to get better, enter a college and things like that. But what started like that also became his passion, and it became his obsession. And he was naturally gifted, but that's one part of it. But if you look at it, he put in so much of effort and hard work in order to get better at the game. And it so happened that he was already doing great in junior level tournaments. And last week on Wednesday, he defeated Rafael Nadal in order to enter the semifinals of the US Open. After many years, an American made it to the US Open semifinals. By the time you are watching this, you know that he didn't make it to the finals, but that's not the point anyway. It's all about how a dream can come true from very humble beginnings. And all those beginnings started in one living room in Maryland at a junior tennis court center. So it was all about passion for him. And after the semi-final entry last week, he was interviewed by the press, and he was asked, what's your life lesson to the rest of the world? He said, I might sound very cliched, but the fact is, if you really dream, if you're really passionate about something, if you want to really get to something, there is always a way to get there if you're passionate about it. The second story, or the second news that happened, was, as I said earlier, the launch of Ponniyin Selvan, the grandeur Tamil movie made by Mani Ratnam, with an ensemble star cast including Aishwarya Rai, whose audio launch happened last week. So the book is based on a novel written by Kalki from the 60s, and many people in yesteryears, including former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. MGR, tried making it as a movie, but in vain. They couldn't do it. The book had 5 volumes. The kind of aesthetic values that was needed to build what was presented in the book was a daunting task, and they felt that many filmmakers felt that they couldn't do it. So Mr. Kamal Haasan took the rights of the novel from Mr. MGR, and he wanted to do a movie based on it, but he could neither get there actually. And interestingly, during the audio launch, Mr. Kamal Haasan was saying that 2 youngsters leaning on a bike in Alvapet dreamt of making Ponniyin Selvan into a movie. While one of them went on to do a lot of other things, one person stood with the dream and he managed to do it after 33 years. And he said this was in 1989 when the two youngsters spoke about making the movie. So the two youngsters were apparently Kamal Haasan and Mani Ratnam. While Kamal Haasan went on to do so many other things, Mani Ratnam just was stuck by the dream. He was always toying around the idea of making Ponniyin Selvan into a movie and finally managed to get there after 33 years. So what it all says is, if you are truly passionate about something, the dream will drive you. As our former president, Mr. Abdul Kalam, said, you got a dream, and when you dream, the dream will pull you, and you just have to be super passionate about it. But just being passionate is not enough. Being passionate means that you draw up a plan, you come up with things that are required to achieve your dream. So we heard two stories of passion from last week. I'm sure as we look at books from history, as we move forward with history, there will be many more things to come. Thank you once again for watching, for your comments, your subscription and everything. Look forward to talking to you again next week. Thank you.